Well, like I started with music very early. Grew up singing with my family, with my church. I was about probably, I think about 7 years old when I had my first lead song. And I remember being just terrified because I would always sing with my family and at home, but having to sing in front of all of these people in front of the church was like something I'd never done before. But the song went great. I cried a bit, finished the song, sat down, got a standing ovation. And that was my first introduction into actually being a solo, if you will, act. Who influenced me to make music? I have a lot of influence as it pertains to artists and songwriters and producers and things of that nature. But I think it was just having this gift inside and not really wanting it to go to waste. So I actually, in 2012, wrote and did my own project. It was a Christian contemporary project. And I did that because that was my vein at the moment. I was into Christian music, gospel music, and stuff like that. My family in music, I actually have an aunt, Geraldine Moten, who recorded with St. James Missionary Baptist Church Choir back in the day. That had to be, gosh, it had to have been like in the early 80s, late 70s. I love to praise him. I love to praise him. St. James Missionary Baptist Choir. Everybody sang that song back in the day. That was her. She sung that song, and I remember back in growing up, we always used to talk about that, because she was like, from my experience, the first person in our family to record, and that was a big deal, even though I was a little bitty boy, that was a big deal for us, So to me, this feels like me carrying on her legacy. She recorded that one song, and to me, this is like her passing the torch, like, all right, nephew, go on and do your thing, and show them what you got to work with. So this is how we do it. So that was my experience with family and music. I was at a retreat in California with a guy who was my spiritual mentor, and it's a Christian retreat, so we would pray and worship and do all that kind of stuff. And we were getting ready to pray to go into our next session. And a lot of times he would call in people out the audience to open up with prayer or just have a song. So he called me out. He said, Cornell, I want you to sing a song. We're gonna have so-and-so do our prayer, and I want you to come sing a song. Mind you, I never had a conversation about me even being a worship leader. So as far as I knew, he didn't even know I sang, So I'm like, okay, all right, no problem. So I got up, I sang some familiar song I can't remember at the moment, and I got ready to go sit down. So he began to pray again. He said, okay, now Cornell, I want you to come back and I want you to sing the song the Lord has given you. And I remember thinking like, okay, God, what am I gonna sing? So I got up, and I don't even remember to this day what I sang. All I know is I went on for about 8 minutes, and after the session was over that night, people were coming up to me like, oh my God, that song, did you write that? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I guess I did, because it was just the anointing of God in the moment, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until I had that experience, and I don't even know if he knows what he did for me, but he opened that gift of songwriting again. When I returned back home the following week, I was asleep, and in my dream, I got my first song that's on my project from 2012. And it was after that, these songs just started flowing out of me like just water, like I just couldn't stop them. So when I started, I felt literally my gift for writing becoming stronger. I felt my production ability becoming stronger, my ability to hear melodies. The more songs I recorded, the more stuff I did in the studio, the sharper my gift became to me. And my writing process really was just like it always is. When I write, it just came to me. And honestly, I wrote that song in probably less than a half hour. And I got the hook first, it is you, it is you. And I sat there, and then the verse came, and I felt, because it was different from some of the other songs I had written, it didn't really have the verse, chorus, verse, bridge, outline. I felt like it was incomplete until we sat down and put music to it. And then I was like, you know what, this is it, it needs no more. My favorite part about filming the video for It Is You, it was the process really of getting everybody together and getting all of the elements put in place. Though it was a very cold day, I think that was the most exciting thing is okay, because I got to see my commitment to what it is that I have. And the fact that I could stand out there, and we all could stand out there, the whole team, in I think what it was like 3 degrees, shooting a video for almost an hour or so, it let me see the commitment. So that was my favorite thing, just seeing the the commitment of myself and these individuals who really wanted to see a good product at the end of the video. When we got ready to do that take, he says, now mind you, all of us are out there freezing our butts off, and he says, okay, when this camera go on, you ain't cold no more. And I'm looking like, yeah, the hell I am cold. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I'm not cold no more. So I had to pretend. Mind you, my face was like, I did not know what was going to be the end result. You know, I thought I was going to take this again because I didn't feel my face moving. So he showed me, he's like, at the end, he was like, man, you did your thing. I'm like, really? I'm like, my face felt like it wasn't even moving because it was just that cold outside. So I'm glad we got the take, and I think we got it on the first one, even though we did 2 additional, you know, but that's because my boy is a overachiever. So, but I feel like we got it on the first one. But it was a great take, and I think you really enjoyed the video. I really do. What motivates me is my relationship with God. I really believe that He has given me this gift of writing songs and coming up with melodies. And I think that He's given me this to share with the world. And I don't know how that will happen, how that's gonna happen, but I know that that's the thing that keeps me going every day. Seeing the fact that He trusts me with this gift, you know, because I see so many people who have it and don't realize what they have. My main goal with this project and just with my music is to work with some great talent. I want to be a part of a team of people who have taken their gift and put it on the line and done what they feel that they should have done with what it is that they have. And as a result, they've left an imprint in the earth, you know. I grew up listening to a lot of artists. I love old school. I love 70s, 60s. I love the 90s too, but when I really boiled down, like if I had to pick an era, it would be the 70s. And that's because the feel of the music. If you go back to that time, those songs were very short, but the lyrical content captured you. The melody was, you could just fall into the melody and just almost just go to bed. You know, it was just that melodic and simple and just beautiful. And I think their message of song and their ability to create song just was remarkable in that period. But Ashford and Simpson, I love their writing ability, their ability to do music. Anita Baker, Luther Vandross. If we go back a little further, or even into another era, Hall and Oates. You know, that's more the 80s, 70s, 80s. I mean, there are countless people. Coming from Detroit, I mean, I love Anita Baker, Aretha Franklin. We got all of the Motown, the Spinners, who are actually a favorite group of mine. So those are some of my influences that I listen to, but I love all music. I listen to all of it, and I take something from everything that I listen to. My dream collaborations, I would love to do some production and writing with Kenneth Babyface Edmonds. I've always admired his ability to write. I would love to do a project of music actually in the studio with Miss Anita Baker. I actually I got a song for her in my sleep. It came to me when I was in my sleep, and I woke up and I was in my dream, and I just had to say this, in my dream, we were in the studio together and I had written a song for her. And I was singing the melody, it was so real. I was singing the lyrics and the melody in my sleep to the point where when I woke up, I felt like it was a reality for me. And I remember writing that song, and I said, oh my God, this is for Anita Baker. I gotta get this to Anita. And then she come out here last week talking about she farewell retirement. So if you see this, Anita, I'm bringing you out of retirement one day. I admire John Legend's ability, production ability. I think if I had to think or associate myself with anybody who was current, I would associate myself with him, you know, a little bit as far as the style. So I would love to do just to see what a collaboration would come up with him. Those are 3 that come to mind right now. As far as my EP, what's to come, I have a 5-song EP that will be out by the end of 2018, fall 2018. And you can look for a couple more songs just like this. It Is You, love ballads, things that you can really play at your wedding, anniversaries, etc. And then we have a couple of other tracks that you can probably put in and bounce to when you're on your way to your picnic or whatever. So you can look for those projects and that project in the fall of 2018. The name for that project is, we decided to title that just Cornell. And the reason why is because it's a different project from what I had before. And I'm known in the marketplace as Cornell Jermaine. And I said, well, this is different from who they know me as. So I said, well, let's just title this Cornell. So it's kind of like me tearing away all of the extra. This is kind of like an insight into the essence of who I am, a side that you might not have seen before. So it's titled Cornell by Cornell Jermaine. I thank you so much for tuning into this video and buying the single. It's on everywhere, iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you can buy digital music. And the video is premiering as well. So check it out, check out the video. Let me hear what you have to say about it. I would love to hear how you feel about the song, your remarks. Hit me on Facebook, IG, Twitter, and also be on the look for the album at the fall of 2018. And I hope to see you real soon in the future. You can hit me up on IG as Cornell Jermaine, Twitter, Cornell Jermaine, Facebook, Cornell Jermaine Music, and let me know what you think about the single, It Is You, and the video. Talk to you soon.